Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Bela's channel. This is Bridget advocating for the orphans and telling my story. If you like what I'm about, like, share, and subscribe. It helps with the growth of the channel.
Tomorrow you will go.
So that's how the first episode ended. Anne was chased out because of the brooch that Marilla thought she had stolen. Honestly, I understand Marilla. Losing something that has a sentimental value can be very hurtful, especially when the person is no longer there. You still want to feel like you are connected somehow to the person. So it's very painful. But her chasing Anne out, seriously, I thought that was wild. She could have come up with a better punishment, seriously, and this happens in real life. It seems as though orphans are not supposed to make mistakes. And speaking from experience, being chased out is the first punishment or option that we are threatened with if we are to do anything that do not align with their requirements, or if we just do things differently. So we have to cower before them and do whatever they want. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about all foster parents. Some are very good and some make mistakes. We are all humans, just like how I want people to acknowledge that orphans also can make mistakes. That's how I also want us to acknowledge that even foster parents can also make mistakes. Anyway, talking about episode 2, this is one of the most dark episodes of AnnewithanE. A series of misfortunes happening to Anne throughout the episode. However, she remains hopeful, and in the end, she gets what almost every orphan prays for in their entire existence. So make sure to watch to the end, subscribe, like, and comment. So let's get into it. So Marilla finds the brooch, but Anne was already gone. So she runs to Mathew and she tells Mathew. Mathew had to follow Anne, and when he got to the train station, Anne was already gone. But he was not let it go. It was not the end. He had to find means to get to Anne. So he followed. On the other side, Anne got to the station where she was supposed to drop off, and she almost got kidnapped. So this man goes to Anne, tells her that her family had sent him to fetch her, but Anne didn't have a family, so she figured that he was lying, and she started running for her life. He actually let her go when he found other two boys to lie to. Anne actually went to the orphanage, but she started thinking about the things that happened in the orphanage, how she was abused by other children in the orphanage, and she decided against it, so she slept outside. So the following morning, she sees the milkman delivering milk and she decides to go and ask him for transport to get her to the next city. So at first he was skeptical, he came up with some excuses, but in the end he agreed. They traveled together. Anne helped him deliver milk. He shared his meal with Anne, and Anne narrates some part of her story to him. On the other hand, Mathew had asked for transport from these men who were going to the market so that he can go to the orphanage and fetch Anne. So when he got to the market, he sold his watch for transport money for him to go to the orphanage, since he had just left home with nothing, thinking that Anne wouldn't be gone too far. So later, after selling his watch, he got in an accident, he fainted and suffered some head injuries. Some women took care of him, and when he woke up, he then proceeded with his journey to the orphanage. When he got to the orphanage, he tried knocking, but no one answered, so he slept outside. In the morning, one of the caregivers trying to open the door finds Mathew sleeping there, and Mathew asks to see the matron. He was told that the matron was still sleeping, so the caregiver asked him to freshen up while he waits for the matron. When he finally got to see the matron, he was told that Anne was adopted, didn't come back, and the matron didn't care. So he left the orphanage asking around to see if anyone had seen the little girl, which is Anne. On the other hand, Anne was already on the bus station hustling for a bus ticket for her to go to a different city. While Matthew was asking around, he had an encounter with the milkman who had traveled with Anne the previous day. The milkman was startled. I guess he didn't expect to see anyone. So he told Matthew that he had startled him, just like the little girl the previous day. Matthew thought the little girl could be Anne, so he asked the milkman to describe her, and the description matched. So he asked where he had left Anne, and he was told the bus station. At home, Marilla was worried sick. She had expected Matthew to come back the same day, but he didn't. She tried keeping herself busy, but it didn't work. She was then set on traveling to go find out what had happened to Mathew. However, Rachel visited just as she was about to leave. She comforted her and convinced her to stay calm, assured her that everything was going to be alright, and she told her not to travel. They stayed for a while together, drinking coffee or tea, I don't know. And then later Rachel left. She kept herself busy again, but this time she was not traveling. At the bus station, Anne was reciting poems for clients for $1 when she heard someone calling her. That was Mathew, and she ignored. She carried on with her work until Mathew found her. They argued in front of the clients until the clients left. Mathew tried to convince Anne to go home with him, but she was not having it. She was not going to be called a thief. Her reasoning was that was she going to be chased out of the house every time she messes things up? If it was going to be like that, she didn't want it. Honestly, I understand Anne. I would do the same. Actually, I've done that before. The reason I've moved from home to home is that I was told to leave if I do not meet certain requirements, I do not do certain things, or I do not let go of some part of my career, or if I do not let go of some part of my beliefs. So I chose to leave. My reasoning was that they're always going to play that card. Okay, if you do not do this, you're going to leave. So obviously, I have to live in fear, thinking that, oh, if I do not do certain things, I'm going to be homeless. Trust me, no one wants to live like that. Personally, I'm not scared of starting over. I know that I'm going to survive. So I'm like, I'm going to meet the next person who's going to help you the same way I met you. So I'm really going to be fine, with or without you. So I'm definitely not going to choose the highway. Trust me, once you survive one tough situation, it strengthens you and you are not scared anymore. So that's kind of it. We know that we're going to survive and we're not afraid of starting over. However, when Mathew calls Anne his daughter, Anne was happy and she agreed to go home with him.
This man is indeed bothering me.
How so? We're fine. She's my daughter.
She hugged him, she was happy, crying, and they went home together. When they got home, Anne expected Marilla to ask for forgiveness, tell her that she wanted her and she was sorry, but she didn't. Anne was sad, devastated. She doubted that she was going to stay for a long time because she thought Marilla did not want her.
And now I'm back. But I'm not so sure. You're back?
Later, she meets Diana, her best friend, tells her everything, the journey she had had, how things had unfolded, and that she was not sure that Marilla really wanted her. However, Diana tells her that Marilla was worried sick and devastated because Rachel had told people already. So everyone knew what was happening at Green Gables. But Anne tells Diana that she can't be certain because she was sure that Marilla did not want her. Because she had a chance to ask for forgiveness when they were cooking together, making breakfast, but she didn't. Things were awkward that morning, but she didn't even get to talk about what had happened. She didn't even ask Anne where she had gone to, and she just acted as if everything was normal and things were to go back to how they were before. So it happened that there was a community picnic, I think, so they had to attend. And that was bad for Anne. Everyone had something bad to say.
Stray dog.
No need to be uncharitable. Do you suppose they mean for her to be a daughter or a servant? Doesn't
Garbage girl.
Anne left running and Marilla followed. She felt like she didn't belong.
Anne.
Did you feel a sense of obligation? Is that it? Because I would have been fine on my own.
This is when Marilla asked for forgiveness and assured Anne that she was wanted and loved and that she was never going to act the same way again. I also think that this is when Marilla thought of adopting Anne. So the following morning, Anne was called to the parlor And behold, there was a big surprise. Anne was to sign that she takes Marilla and Mathew Cathbert to be her family, and she was to be called Cuthbert and Cathbert. And this is what every orphan wishes for, to be part of a family, somewhere to belong. I was so happy for her, really. And that's all we are asking for. Admit when you're wrong. Express your feelings. Tell me that you love me when you feel like you love me. Because that is going to heal every orphan. Trust me. We just want to belong. Know that we are loved. And people should just admit when they are wrong. That's all. So she signed. They were very happy. And obviously, Anne being Anne, she was just dramatic about it. But I was happy for her.
I can't believe this is really happening.
Calm yourself, Anne. You're overexcited.
Yes, I am. With this pen, I take you, Mathew, and Marilla Cuthbert. And Cuthbert.
She went on and on and on and on changing the names. But yeah, she was now part of the family. And that was the end of episode 2. If you like this video, do the right thing, subscribe, like, and share. Please leave a comment. I would love to read your comments. And it also helps with the growth of the channel. Bye! Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.